Hi starseeds, it's Opheana and Sikaal here, and today we want to talk to you guys about what if I fall asleep during meditations. We get asked that question all the time.
All the time.
And it's in our frequently asked questions, but we figured we would record a video on it as well because so many people want to know what actually happens when I fall asleep, why do I fall asleep, what should I do, and all of the things connected to it. We are cosmic shamans, teachers of universal consciousness, and we're very excited to share this video with you.
Yes, as Sikaal said, many questions on this particular subject. The meditations that we bring through with the Family of Light, with the teams, are of quite a high frequency. And so if the frequency is triggering a certain area in you, so it's not necessarily that you don't match the frequency of the meditation. However, there's something that needs to shift for you to come back into alignment with that frequency. Then sometimes your personality or subconscious mind can just switch it all off. So that's, there's many elements. So we're going to talk about the different parts and different elements within it. It can be so high frequency, say, you're at 500, you do one of these meditations.
On the ascension consciousness scale.
I apologize, on the ascension consciousness scale, approximately 500 in consciousness, the point system that we have worked with.
Yep.
If you're around 500, the meditations are brought through at a very high frequency. It can just be too much for your nerve centers in your brain, in your body, in your nervous system. And so you take in what you can take in and then you can switch off. That can be very frustrating for some people. And so increasing your frequency obviously is a part of it. Another part of it is working on looking at, well, what areas of my life do I need to change to cleanse out what is of lower frequency so that this higher frequency can come in. So even if, as I said, you are of quite a high frequency, but you started falling asleep again, there's probably something to shift. There's probably a little like, I'm just gonna just leave now because I don't want to do it. No. So really looking at, okay, so why is it that my personality can't deal with this, my lower bodies can't deal with this, why can't my physical body deal with this? What is it in this meditation? Do I need to do this meditation several times? Do I need to keep repeating until my system gets used to this frequency, until I move through the levels and I can accept it in my field?
Yeah, exactly. And so the meditation, it's very interesting to learn about yourself. What meditations do you generally tend to nod off or lose consciousness in? Some of them, some of you will do that with most of the meditations where you just wake up at the end and you hear the music and you're like, oh, did that pass again? Or others, you're halfway through and you just lose consciousness because with a lot of them, the frequency raises and raises as the teams increase it and as you astral travel or as new teachings and healings are brought forth. The frequency raises and you might lose consciousness. Why? Because you just can't fully grasp that particular frequency yet. Or, like Opheana said as well, it might be very triggering to you. For instance, let's say you're doing the release self-hate meditation that's been on the channel for quite a while, or you've gone to visit Andromeda and there's a lot of healing you need to do there. Then you might drop out and not physically be conscious as you do it. But the team often says remain conscious. Why? Because then your lower mind can also remember the story that you've gone through, which means it's an extra layer of what has happened, not just a trust of, okay, I've done the meditation, so it should all be good, because it is. Always know you're not going to be overloaded. So if the frequency of the meditation is higher than where you currently reside, that's really good because it can help you move through your frequency bandwidth. However, your presence will make sure that you won't get overloaded. So it's always safe to do them. However, you may not be able to hold that frequency very long, and so you always nod off. So one of the strategies is, next to really paying attention, well, with which meditations am I nodding off? Is it with a particular ascended master? Always when Melchizedek comes through, I nod off. Why? Because he has so many lessons for you. Or it's hard for you to hold the frequency of Archangel Michael. Why? Because you're so in your feminine energies and you've got so much more movement to move to your masculine energies. And when he moves through in a very masculine way, Yeah, it's just too
Yeah.
it's too much for your system, and so you nod you nod off, or you consciously can't hold it. Can be the other way as well. When a very feminine, soft energy comes in, you just you want to nod off. Why? Because you're in need of that nurturing energy in your field. So really pay attention. Well, with which ones am I nodding off? And the ones that you nod off, repeat them, repeat them, repeat them, until at one stage you can hold that frequency. That is a very good tip there as well.
Yes.
Now, if you do nod off, your presence, your teams are making sure you get all of the healing, all of the, let's say, implant removal or healing techniques are applied to your chakras. All of that occurs. So you get all of the benefits of the meditation. However, your lower mind, your personality doesn't know what happened. And so it may be hard to understand that you got all those healing benefits. And if healing techniques were explained, for instance, or chakra clearings were done, or you had a whole journey on Arcturus, you missed the whole journey with your personality, with your lower mind. So you weren't consciously able to manage those two worlds together. And so you don't have the story, you don't remember what was mentioned to you, what gifts you received. So if you can remain consciously aware, you can get so much more out of those meditations on that level. But if it is really hard, then just trust that by doing the meditations, you will receive what is needed. Now, the other extreme is to do them while you go to sleep. It's nice to sort of have the space available to let your system take them in, because it's different than running like particular frequencies while you sleep so your system can take them in. These meditations are often have an active component to them. You're asked, to focus on your heart now, expand your heart, do your pillar, let things flow through. So there's an active component. You can be very relaxed, but often it's better to be a little bit consciously aware rather than put them on during your sleep time. So that would be our advice. Did you want to say anything on that?
Yeah, well, I know some people just love them so much they just either listen to them throughout their day as they're just pottering around the house, that type of thing. That's fine as well. And to be honest, if you feel deeply guided to listen to them through your sleep, like Sikaal said, you wouldn't get as much of a benefit as when you're actively participating, but there could be the benefit of the frequency just flowing through. So feel the guidance of that.
However, it might be activating as well.
Exactly, and so you might wake up at 3 a.m. and just be like,
whoa.
So it's always about checking in with yourself. How does it feel? How do I feel in the morning after I've done that? Am I just a little too ungrounded? Am I a little too full and integrative? Did I get enough sleep? All of that. So it's really important to constantly just weigh up how you're feeling, what's your truth with it, because you can use these just as a background mantra type system or as a study type system, because these are Sacred Mystery School teachings coming from the family of light. So you can literally just walk around the house, put them, you don't want to be driving. That's a definite, you want to really be able to...
Be in your own sacred space
sacred
as well.
Space,
have your temple set up,
absolutely.
Have your pillars set up so that you can take them in, but you can do that at home, and
Yeah.
you'll find what grooves with you. But each of them also have a different integration time, and some of them are super technical, like anchoring your 246 Merkaba with the Arcturians would be very different than deep surrender into a beautiful, loving inner earth cave with, for instance, Ascended Master Mary. And a few of the meditations even say it's totally fine if you fall fully asleep during this or not, but most of them require some form of active participation if possible.
Yes.
And it's about learning to master your energies to a degree as well, that you can find that balance of being super relaxed and dropping deep into your inner world, but remaining just present enough to take it all in, to know what's happening, to follow the instructions as you move through. If you're going through let's say you're going through a fire, for instance, we had a inner realm fire, for instance, you go through one of those fires and you go through different journeys and you collect gifts and initiations and you meet different soul family.
Choices, yeah.
It's nice to be present to take all that in, or else it's kind of like going to, let's say, a social occasion and standing in the corner and being asleep, and then you're home again, someone drove you home.
But I went to that.
What happened? You're like, yeah, I went there, but I don't really remember what happened. So that's fine, and you probably took in the atmosphere to some degree. With the meditations, though, your presence is there with you, your teams are there, so you still take it in. But if you can get to a point where you can masterfully hold that level of being conscious enough to take it in while being fully surrendered and allowing it to move through, so having your energy bodies that expanded, that would be the ideal. So then less and less you will be falling asleep, unless it's specifically part, which is rare, of the meditation.
Yes. So the whole time Tim's been wanting to share that if there is a block in your field or in your system, it can just turn your switch off. Yeah. From being conscious. So where is it in your life, if you are one of the ones falling asleep or occasionally falling asleep, in those moments, is there an area in your life that is either blocked, dammed up, not being dealt with, still in that job that is okay, I can make it work, in that relationship, no, I can make it work for now. These are stuck in your lower body. You're a vessel. This physicality, this emotional body, this mental body, these are vessels for spirit to use for your mission in this lifetime, for you to have this incarnation at the highest frequency possible. It can't if it has lower frequency blockages in it. And so when you sit or lay down ready for the meditation, and then the frequencies start coming in, and you're like, wow, this feels good. Yeah, okay, I've got my pillar, that's nice. And then you're in the God Presence Communion Temple. Yeah, that's good. I'm focused, I'm conscious. And then the Lyrans come in, and you're like, doof, out to it. You're like, I am not going to activate that part of myself, because I'll have to leave my husband, and I'm not doing that, because I know that Lyran part in me is such an intense light source that I will know that that's what I'll have to do. And so these are the types of things to look at. If you are, because we've done mystery schools with people that they're so spiritual, and they're so keen to open up their different senses. However, are they as willing to make the shifts in their lives? Because it's really this balance between, you want so much spirituality running through you. However, your whole life has to have it running through you for you to bring that through. And yes, there are many exceptions of people who are just automatically, naturally psychic from early on, and their lower bodies are gunky, but they're able to do the top layers. And I'm not saying this out of judgment, it's reality. And so if you can release the blockages where you get triggered in these areas, if you can clean up your life in all of those areas, they're the parts that will assist you to use your senses, to feel what's happening in the meditation, to see what's happening in the meditation, to hear, to receive. And as Sikaal said earlier, you will receive what you need to receive. And again, you may not receive 100% of what's coming through because you're not ready for that yet, but you will absolutely receive a whole lot of healing energy for where you're at.
Yeah, and also wanted to add on to that, what happens very often as well is that spirit downloads so much into you, like you receive gifts in your chakras, or different crystals, for instance, or different messages that are unpacked maybe 6 months down your linear timeline.
Get a zip file.
Yeah, but they're unzipped at the right time when you hit a certain point, or when spirit knows you've hit that fork in your linear timeline and you choose to go right on your spiritual route, then that package is unpacked, but it was from a meditation from 6 months ago.
Yes.
And that's why when you're on this high initiate spiritual journey, it becomes harder and harder, and at some time you just kind of give up on it because it's not relevant to know what actually did what. Which meditation made that this happened? What healing created that? What download happened there? With which ascended master? You start letting go, because some of it is compounded through the time. And from a meditation from even 2 years ago, some gifts could be unpacked. When the right person comes into your life, you can't really your lower mind can't make a linear model of that. And so let that go and trust you're going to get the immediate insights that you need, but other things will move through into your life as well, and you'll get what you need when it's time. But as a basic thing to hold on to, if you fall asleep, start paying attention to which ones particularly, and repeat the ones you fall asleep to. That would be a very good advice, because there's something more for you to master within that, grow through into, and sometimes you might need to do it 5 times or 10 times, and then the 10th time you're like, I made it all the way through that one. Great. So now you've integrated what your system wanted you to integrate. Because like Opheana said, falling asleep is a symbol of your energy bodies that something is going on. Either the frequency is too high yet, or there's a blockage there where the energy can't be taken in. And none of it is bad. It only means you're growing in that direction. So see it as a positive and then work with it from there.
Yes, and you might be just really tired.
It might be
seriously. Maybe you just need the frequency, and so there's that acceptance as well. Just
Absolutely.
to add, so there's always a multifaceted answer to these things. And so for you, normally you're conscious through all the meditations, but this one, and then you're like, oh, why wasn't I conscious? Am I blocked? But you might literally just physically need to just.
You might have been super tired.
Yeah. So really allow for that too. However, most of the time, there's usually something to deal with, and I really recommend working on the lower body, with your tools, EFT tapping, whatever it is that you like to use to look at belief systems, all of that type of thing, so that you can cleanse the vessel, open the vessel, have a clear vessel, all of it can download cleanly, you remember it, you can work with it, you can see it, you can feel it, all of that type of thing. Beautiful. Lovely.
Many blessings, guys, and good luck remaining consciously aware and relaxed in your inner realms while doing the meditation.
And acceptance within the process. Really, a lot of patience and acceptance.
Yeah, and allow yourself to become masterful within all of this.
Yeah, much love.
Many blessings.
See you next time.
See you next time.